BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The world's biggest beef exporter, Brazil, has suspended exports to China after the Agriculture Ministry confirmed 2 cases of mad cow disease. The authorities say there is no health risk to humans or other animals. Leonardo Rocha reports.
The samples were collected from meat plants in different regions of the country, but the Brazilian authorities said these were isolated cases of the disease, which develop spontaneously in cattle and pose no risk to humans. They said the decision to suspend exports were part of an animal health pact with China. Despite the assurances from the government, the development has worried the country's powerful agribusiness sector. They fear the ban could last for weeks and extend to other countries in Europe and North America.
The Ethiopian military says it has killed more than 5,600 members of the Tigray rebel forces during their 10-month conflict in the north of the country. It's not clear when these casualties occurred. Meanwhile, Ethiopia says humanitarian aid is again reaching people in the northern Tigray region. There's been no independent verification of Ethiopia's claim. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has revealed that the country's immigration agency had been trying for years to deport a Sri Lankan Islamic State supporter who stabbed 7 people in a supermarket in Auckland on Friday. Phil Mercer reports.
Ahmed Samsudeen arrived in the country a decade ago on a student visa and was granted refugee status. He spent 3 years in prison, awaiting trial for possessing Islamic State group propaganda, but was released on a supervision order in July. Samsudeen was under police surveillance when he attacked shoppers at a supermarket in Auckland. New Zealand's immigration authorities were trying to revoke his refugee status, believing that it was fraudulently obtained. In a statement, his family in Sri Lanka said they'd been left heartbroken by this terrible event.
Dozens of Afghan women who staged a protest in the capital Kabul say the Taliban targeted them with tear gas and pepper spray. The women were demanding the right to work and for women to be included in the Taliban government, as this woman explains.
Together with a group of our colleagues, we wanted to go near a former government office for a protest. But before we got there, the Taliban hit women with electric tasers and they used tear gas against women. They also hit women on the head with a gun magazine, and the women became bloody. There was no one to ask why.
Meanwhile, the head of Pakistan's military intelligence agency, General Faiz Hamid, has been visiting Kabul. He's reportedly been holding talks with Taliban officials about security. BBC News. The Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi has said he's ready to return to talks on Iran's nuclear program, but would not negotiate under Western pressure. Speaking on state television, Mr. Raisi said he wanted talks to result in the lifting of the sanctions that have hit the Iranian economy hard. Iran and other signatories to the 2015 nuclear accord have held several rounds of talks in Vienna since President Biden took office and reversed Donald Trump's adversarial policy towards Tehran. At least 12 people, including some children, have been killed and 34 others injured in Egypt when a coach travelling from Sharm el-Sheikh to Cairo overturned after hitting a concrete barrier. 30 ambulances took the injured, some of whom are in a critical condition, to hospitals in Suez City. More than 200 Algerian and Moroccan intellectuals, academics and other figures have condemned the recent rupture in relations between the two countries. Bilateral ties have been fraught for decades. Alan Johnston reports.
In a petition, they appealed for what they called a return to reason and warned that the current situation could lead to confrontation. Last month, Algeria severed all diplomatic ties with Morocco, accusing it of hostile actions, including espionage. There have been allegations that Morocco spied on Algerians using Israeli-made technology to tap into mobile phones. The Moroccans deny this.
The First Lady of the United States, Jill Biden, will return to the classroom next week. Mrs. Biden has been teaching students remotely because of the pandemic, but has always made it clear she would keep teaching even after arriving at the White House. She's the first First Lady to combine that role with a job outside the presidency. BBC News.